Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here this morning, and sustainable agriculture is so dear to my heart, and I grew up in an agricultural family, and I also own a farm, though not in the United States, but in Jamaica. I have a coffee farm in Jamaica, and so farming is so dear to me. And my degree has been in horticulture, and my Ph.D. has been working with coffee in Madagascar. So if you look at urban agriculture, as Tom said a few minutes ago, it is going back to the future, to the past kind of a deal. We were engrossed in agriculture, and then in the past few decades, we have been so removed from agriculture. Now this whole interest in agriculture and developing urban agriculture has become a core of what we are today. And if you look at 7 million years ago, if you look at the history of human beings, we were a hunter-gatherer society where we hunted wild animals and gathered wild plants. And it was about 11,000 years ago where we transitioned from a foraging society to a farming society. And that has been influential, and all our civilization has been based on the sedentary agriculture. Otherwise, we were more a hunter-gatherer and a nomadic society. And so what we are today is all based because of agriculture. And so, so what is urban agriculture? It is, in simple terms, it is the growing, processing, and distribution and food and other products through intensive plant cultivation and animal husbandry in and around cities. So there are different forms of urban agriculture. It could be through green belts around cities, in cities' edge and suburbs. If you look at traditional agriculture, it's a monoculture. So that's why urban agriculture is very intensive, because you do multiple crops in a small amount of space. And because of that, your productivity is also very high. And it could be community gardens where you're growing vegetables in community gardens. A lot of cities these days have vacant inner city lots, and utilizing those for urban agriculture is very productive. And schoolyard, a lot of schools are these days having agriculture programs. Rooftop gardens in places in apartment buildings where you do not have the luxury of having land, you could do rooftop gardens or window boxes. And other forms of fish farms, like Jim was talking, he has an aquaponics operation where you can grow fish in a small space. And farm animals, I think there were a few people who were talking about chickens and beehives in your backyards, and that all requires policies. So farm animals and vegetable gardens and backyard orchard, fruit trees in your backyard. And even there are a lot of salad gardens that are supported by restaurants and beehives. And the picture I have is a vertical system. A lot of places, especially where there is a lot of humidity, can grow these vertical systems, and that's a herb garden grown in a vertical system. And so a little bit about some of our food realities. About 80% of our population right now live in cities. In contrast, 100 years ago, about 50% of Americans lived in rural farms or in rural communities, and they fed themselves with locally grown produce. So with this urbanization of our population, how do we feed these people who are so far removed from actual food production? It is a very complex system right now, where to supply all the city's residents, food products have to travel about 1,500 to 2,500 miles from farm to plate. So, currently, right now, we transport more food from markets outside of the United States from other countries. And for that, by the time we ship fruits and vegetables, by the time they're shipped to the supermarket in a city, it takes about 7 to 14 days in transition. And it leads to about almost 50% spoilage. So we are losing a lot of our produce to spoilage. And also, in order to transport all these produce, 7 to 14 days in transit, so you have to harvest them at a stage where it is not the ideal harvesting period. So a lot of the fruits and vegetables are grown for their ability to withstand this extended travel, and also for industrial harvesting. because labor is also an issue. So industrial harvesting becomes much less labor intensive. And so in that process, all the taste and nutritional quality of these produce are lost. So urban agriculture plays a big role where you are growing it right in your backyard, and so fresh produce is available right when you need them. And so there are health benefits to urban agriculture. One is nutrition. A small tended plot can give you a surprising amount of produce, and it can meet households' nutritional requirements for vitamins A, B complex, C, and iron. And also personal wellness. So gardening for food and aesthetics leads to physical, mental, spiritual, and social health of individuals and of communities. And exercise, gardening in itself is a great exercise. So the level of gardening can give you different exercise from fine motor skills and by just picking flowers or fruits. And then if you're turning a compost pile, then you get a more aerobic exercise. And then, of course, mental health. By being outdoors, it benefits mental health, mental outlook. It relieves stress. And increases the personal wellness of individuals. And also, there has been, it also leads back to horticulture therapy, which promotes plant-human interactions, which reduces, as I said, stress, fear, and anger, reduces blood pressure, and also muscle tension. And then gardening also increases self-esteem, pride, confidence, gives personal satisfaction, and efficiency. And builds safe, healthy, green environments. So it's a balance. Urban agriculture gives a balance between built and green open spaces. And so community and educational land dedicated to food production improves the urban physical environments as measured by air quality. Biodiversity increases biodiversity in cities, and also soil quality. And it increases social interaction. If you have a community garden plot with a lot of different ethnic groups, you'll see different ethnic groups, different age groups from elders to youth. So there is a lot of social interaction between groups and various socioeconomic groups that you otherwise normally wouldn't see. And I just wanted to point out to the First Lady Michelle Obama's Let's Move campaign, where it is a way to address healthy eating and childhood obesity. And if you look at it under the Eat Healthy program, there is a whole thing on how to start a community garden. And some of the economic impacts. It is a way to engage some of our homeless folks in the cities. A perfect example, in 1999, the Homeless Garden Project in Santa Cruz, California, it provided about 12,250 hours of employment to homeless people, and it employed 43 homeless people in 13 positions. And so that is a way we do have homeless. It is a reality. Even with all the things that we have, there is poverty within us. And then creates employment opportunities. It can link training to welfare it can link training and welfare to work program and for unemployed people, and provides opportunities in urban food-related industries. And also development of small businesses. There are many inner-city youth programs that teach leadership and job skills through the production and sales of produce and value-added products. So many community gardeners, they use their surplus to take them and sell them at farmers market or sell directly to restaurants. And also, this was a study that was performed by an independent research organization. They found that agriculture and ag biosciences are generating vital economic growth and job creation. So there is a demand for graduates in the field of agriculture. And this was from an agriculture school from the University of Illinois. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, in the employment opportunities for college graduates in food, renewable energy, and environment 2010 to 2015 report, projects that 53,500 qualified graduates will be available for 54,400 jobs. So there will be a shortage of trained agricultural labor, more qualified workers in this country. And an example of creating a business opportunity, this is a Food from the Hood project, which started in Los Angeles through the Crenshaw High School campus in 1992 after the Los Angeles uprising. And this program combines work-based skills training, academic tutoring, life skills development, and practical business experience by working with seasoned entrepreneurs. So the students began to market their own line of salad dressing, and you can get it online now, with the help of local business. And to date, the Food from the Hood project has provided numerous scholarships to students and student managers to complete either a 2-year or a 4-year degree. And so to conclude my introduction, at Denver Botanic Gardens, we do have different projects that we have been involved with in sustainable agriculture. We've also been in talks with Denver Seeds. You'll hear a little bit later about what they are doing, as well as the Denver Housing Authority. And in addition, we have the 6-acre community-supported agriculture program at our Chatfield site. And at the 6 acres in 2011, we had about 290 households that were shareholders in a community-supported agriculture program. And we grew about 45,000 pounds of vegetables, and 4,000 pounds of that was donated to various organizations because we always get an excess. And we had 48 different crops and 106 varieties of vegetables and herbs. And per acre production was 15,000 pounds of produce. And so, so adequate nutrition is the basic need of all humans. So in our planet, we currently have a population is about 7 billion. And the United Nations estimates that we will be at 9+ billion by 2050. So how are we going to feed all these extra people? And that is a reality of our life right now. And so we need to address how we feed all these people with little expansion of land, and in a way that conserves our water resources, and in a fashion that society judges acceptable and even more respectful of our environment.